The psychology of why people follow crowds, even when they're wrong. Have you ever looked around and wondered, why do people join trends they don't even like? Why do entire crowds panic over rumors that turn out to be false? Or why do ordinary people sometimes support ideas they privately know are wrong simply because everyone else does? It might seem irrational, but psychologists have discovered that following the crowd isn't just laziness, it's deeply wired into the human brain. And understanding why could completely change the way you see social media, politics, advertising, and even your own decisions. Let's explore the fascinating psychology behind why people follow crowds, even when those crowds are completely wrong. Part 1. The brain wants safety. Imagine you're walking through a city. Suddenly, hundreds of people start running. You don't know why, but chances are you'll start running too. Not because you know what's happening, but because your brain assumes the crowd probably knows something you don't. Thousands of years ago, this instinct helped humans survive. If everyone in your tribe suddenly fled, stopping to ask questions could get you eaten by a predator. Following the group increased your chances of survival. Today, predators have mostly disappeared, but the instinct remains. Our brains still treat the crowd as a shortcut for making decisions. Psychologists call this social proof. When we're uncertain, we assume that if many people believe something, it must be true. The problem? Crowds can be wrong. Very wrong. Part 2. The famous line experiment. One of the most shocking psychology experiments ever conducted happened in the 1950s. Participants were shown 3 lines. One line clearly matched a 4th line in length. The answer was obvious, almost impossible to get wrong. But there was a twist. Everyone else in the room secretly worked with the researchers. One by one, they intentionally gave the wrong answer. Now, imagine being the last person asked. Would you trust your own eyes or agree with everyone else? Surprisingly, about 3 out of every 4 participants agreed with the group at least once. They knowingly gave the wrong answer simply because everyone else did. Think about that. People ignored reality just to avoid standing out. This experiment revealed something powerful. The fear of being different can sometimes be stronger than the desire to be right. Part 3. Why standing alone feels so uncomfortable. Humans are social creatures. For most of history, being rejected by your group could mean losing protection, food, or even your life. Our brains evolved to avoid social rejection at almost any cost. Modern brain scans have even shown that social exclusion activates some of the same brain regions involved in physical pain. In other words, being left out literally hurts. That's why many people stay silent when they disagree. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny. They pretend to enjoy trends they secretly dislike. And they often go along with the majority simply to avoid feeling isolated. Sometimes conformity isn't about believing, it's about belonging. Part 4. Social media makes it worse. Today, following the crowd happens faster than ever. Social media constantly tells us what everyone else appears to believe. Millions of likes, thousands of comments, trending hashtags, viral videos. These numbers send a powerful message to your brain. If everyone likes this, maybe I should too. But popularity doesn't always equal truth. False information often spreads faster than accurate information because it triggers stronger emotions like fear, surprise, or anger. Algorithms reward engagement, not necessarily accuracy. The more people react, the more others assume it must be important. And before long, a false idea can feel like common knowledge simply because everyone keeps repeating it. Part 5. Can you resist the crowd? Does this mean we're all doomed to blindly follow everyone else? Not at all. The first step is awareness. When you notice yourself agreeing with something, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, do I actually believe this,
Or am I believing it because everyone else seems to? Independent thinking takes effort. It requires questioning popular opinions, looking for evidence, and being comfortable with disagreeing. Ironically, some of history's greatest innovators, scientists, and leaders succeeded precisely because they were willing to stand apart from the crowd. Progress often begins with someone brave enough to say, "What if everyone else is wrong?" Conclusion: the next time you see millions of people following a trend, sharing the same opinion, or rushing in the same direction, remember this: crowds can be wise, but they can also make enormous mistakes. The strongest minds aren't the ones that always disagree. They're the ones that think before they agree. Because sometimes the hardest thing to do is simply think for yourself. If you enjoyed this psychology fact, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more fascinating insights into how the human mind really works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.